Hey guys, I'm Kelly with Yaya Simple Living and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to make homemade mozzarella cheese and we're going to do it in 30 minutes. It takes about 30 minutes to make homemade mozzarella cheese and you only need 4 ingredients. So we're going to need citric acid, which we are going to dissolve 1.5 teaspoons of this into 1 cup of water. We're going to need rennet and we're going to dissolve 1/4 teaspoon of the rennet into 1/4 cup of water. We're going to need whole milk. You can have pasteurized milk, you just don't want it to be ultra pasteurized. You cannot use any kind of alternative milks, nut milk or anything like that with this. It has to be whole milk, and it can be pasteurized but not ultra pasteurized. And then we're going to flavor it with some salt. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use bottled water to dilute our citric acid and our rennet. The reason we're going to use bottled water is because I'm on city water. City water typically has chlorine in it, and you do not want to use any kind of chlorinated water. So I have my cup of water here. Let me move my milk. Let me move you guys down so you can see. Okay, so let me move my 1/4 cup out of the way. So I have a cup of water, and like I said, I'm going to use 1.5 teaspoons of citric acid. And what this is going to do is this is going to raise the acidity of your milk. And you just want to make sure that that's all dissolved before you put it in to your, oh, it's going to make me sneeze, before you put it into your milk. Then we're going to take 1/4 teaspoon of the rennet and we're going to put that in 1/4 cup of water. Let's go over to the stove and see what we got here. Okay, so we're going to put our water with citric acid in it into our pan. We're going to turn our pan onto medium heat and we're going to add our milk. And we're going to stir this constantly to get all of that mixed in. And we're going to heat our milk until it's 100 degrees. When it's 100 degrees, we will take it off the heat and we will add our rennet. I'm going to save my milk container for another project that I'm doing. I'm going to be winter sowing some seeds, and the milk cartons act as a little greenhouse. So I will put that aside and save that. And I'm just going to keep stirring this until it reaches 100 degrees. Okay, so we are at 100 degrees. Okay, so now what we're going to do, now that we've hit 100 degrees, let me put it back in there so you can see. Okay, well, it's down to 99. All right, so we're going to take it off the heat. And we are going to take our rennet that was dissolved in water and we're going to stir that in. And you want to stir from the bottom as you're adding it in to make sure that all of the milk is incorporated. And then once you have this in, you want to continue stirring for 30 seconds just to make sure that the rennet is completely incorporated into the milk. So we're going to keep stirring. Okay. We are going to put the lid on our pot and we're going to set a timer for 10 minutes. And then we'll see where we're at. Okay, our 10 minutes is up. We're going to take the lid off. And it looks like there hasn't been a lot of change in our milk, but there has been. We're going to take a knife and we're going to cut our milk. So we're looking for about 1-inch cubes, just because it makes it easier to deal with. And you'll see in a minute, you can see all the whey underneath because this has separated the curds and the whey. Just like a little Miss Muffet. So we're going to move this back to our burner. And we're going to turn the burner on. And we're going to reheat this to 105 degrees while we are stirring. So you'll be able to see the chunks separating. And you don't want to disturb a lot of it, but you just want to get it kind of stirred. We're going to go ahead and put this through a mesh strainer with a flour sack towel on it anyway. So it's not going to take long to get to 105 degrees since we had it at 100 when we started. So it's already at 100 right now because it did not cool down that much in 10 minutes. So it will be very fast. And it doesn't look like much, but we have to stretch it and melt it and get it formed into a nice cohesive ball once we separate the curds and the whey. All right, it's at 105 already. So we're going to take this off the heat. All right, and I have here a mesh strainer covered with a towel. And we're going to strain our cheese through that so that we can get all of the whey out of it.
So what we're going to do here is we're going to strain our mixture through the flour sack towel. That's going to help us separate the curds and the whey. We want to get as much of the liquid, which is the whey, out of the curd as we can, because the curd is actually our cheese part. So we're going to go ahead and strain this. We can squeeze the flour sack towel to try and help get some of the liquid out of it, but our goal is to get as much liquid out as possible. So we're going to go ahead and let this strain, and then we'll see where we're at.
Okay, so we have a lot of our whey strained out. We're going to take our cheese and we are going to get all of it off of here. And we are going to start stretching it. There's quite a bit on this cloth, so I'm just going to brush it all off as best I can. Okay, so you can see we have all this cheese here. We're going to get our other pan okay, and I'm going to put my cheese curds in the hot water, for about 30 seconds just to warm them up so that we can start stretching them. And we're going to continue to squeeze as much whey out as we can get. And you can see that it's not really a cohesive, come together ball yet, but it will be. And we're just going to continue doing this, getting as much whey out as we can. And then we're going to start the stretching process. And every time it gets a little bit warm, we're going to go ahead and put it back in, and we're going to start stretching it. As soon as we get it to where it's semi-smooth, we're going to add our salt. And you want to get as much whey out as possible because your cheese is going to last longer that way. You can see it's starting to be a little stretchy. That's good. That's what we want. And we'll just keep alternating and putting it back in to our warm water to warm it up so that it's easier to stretch. See how stretchy it's getting? That's good. That's what we want. So I'm going to try and fold it in on itself just to kind of get it formed into a little bit of a better working process here. All right,
So it's starting to be really stretchy and it's starting to get a little more cheese-like. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of salt to my cheese. So as I'm stretching it and working it in, the salt is going to get incorporated throughout the cheese and it's going to give it a really nice flavor. Now you can salt it however you want. I just find that 1.5 teaspoons for this amount of cheese works really well and it gives it a really nice flavor. So I'm going to continue stretching it. I will say that I don't think my water was hot enough because it was not stretching the way I wanted it to. So you can also do this in the microwave and heat up your cheese for 30 seconds at a time in the microwave, and you'll see that I switched to that here, and you can see what a difference it made. If my water had been hotter, I would have gotten the same result that I got from putting it in the microwave. So next time I make it, I will make sure that my water is hotter, but you'll see here coming up what I did.
So I wanted to show you what it's like if you do it in the microwave. So you do 30 seconds in the microwave, stretch it. It does stretch a lot better because it does get hotter. My water just probably wasn't hot enough. But look how stretchy that is. So I'm just going to stretch it until I get the consistency that I want. And if it gets hard to stretch, you can always put it back in the microwave for 30 seconds or back into your hot water. I think my water just wasn't hot enough, because 30 seconds in the microwave, and I have this. So once you get it to where you want it, you can just form it into a ball. Now you can do a couple little balls, or you can just do one big ball of mozzarella. And then you can use it the same day, which is when it's best, but you can also wrap it in plastic wrap, put it in your refrigerator, and it'll last for a couple days in your refrigerator. So there you have it. We have made mozzarella. Look how beautiful that is. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I hope that you will give it a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video, go ahead and hit that bell notification. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.